Heathen thought of the day.
I'll go again then. So, I've been thinking about the occult.
Why is that German?
It's not. I just felt like in the mood for it. And yes.
In the mood for some German, so some sauerkraut and schnitzel.
And Wurst.
And Weissbier.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh, you don't like Weissbier?
And some Umpty Dumpty music. And Dirndls.
I'd rather listen to Rammstein.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, the occult.
Scorpions.
Which can cover a whole range of topics, but
yes,
I
tarot.
guess let's think, specifically for me, I was thinking witchcraft. And
okay, now you're piquing my interest.
well, one thing actually, it
some
occurred
witchcraft
to me,
and heathen.
I was literally going to bring it back to heathen, because again, the reason I thought of this is you've got a couple of sort of occult characters in the script. You know, you've got one that's sort of more on the, I suppose, voodoo side. You've got one who's more in the sort of psychic version, and then you've got
charlatan.
You've got Renee as well, who is magical in herself in some way.
I've got a witch's coven as well, but
in the second part, yeah.
I say so much with just one scene that I don't even need to make a whole movie about witches, because what I'm going to do in one scene is going to be way better than most witch movies.
It is rather fascinating, isn't it? And humanity's obsession with them and persecution of them as well is just like an easy thing to put your blame it on the witches. Crops failed, blame it on the witch. My husband's cheated on me, blame it on a witch.
Witches scare the crap out of me.
Do you believe in any of those things that you've written about?
Yeah.
Yeah. All of them, or particular ones? You think?
Not everything.
No.
Not I believe in what they're practicing. I don't necessarily believe about what I make happen to them in the movie, because it's a fantastical movie.
I meant more the disciplines or the practices or the forms of magic.
It's just as legitimate as being a Buddhist or a Christian or an atheist or whatever you want to,
but those are beliefs rather than magic.
Well, how is, the Bible is full of magic just as much as any occult text. It's just as out there.
Yeah. I guess, though, I was specifically wondering, do you think, for example, do you believe that there are psychics who can commune with not incarnated people?
It's hard to say. I would need hard evidence.
Zach Bagan's show is not enough for you?
Hey, look, there's some stuff on Gross Adventures which is quite compelling.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't watch it otherwise if I thought it was all a load of malarkey. But
And what do you think about, witches cursing or casting spells to affect people?
Yeah, well, I cursed the heathen script so that anyone who reads it, who has the power to green light it and doesn't, all their following works will be cursed and bomb. And look what's happened to the people who have turned it down. All of their works, one of their movies, which they produced instead of Heathen, they spent $50 million on the production budget. So you got to imagine they spent another $30 million at least on advertisement budget. So you're talking $80 million. The movie didn't break $10 million in America, and it only made about 20 worldwide. So that's quite a curse. And
should have gone with Heathen.
It also got panned critically and by the people, rightly so. Was up for Razzies, rightly so. So yeah,
but
I do believe in the curses, especially the ones that
you put out there. Yeah, well, you also, whenever we play this particular card game called Ligretto, which I've been playing since I was a child, and I talked to you, and you always beat me, and it's like I think you're cursing me. You're cursing the cards that I get.
Well, Jeff, do you not recall that if I'm on a losing streak, if I've lost 3 games in a row, I will put my hands together and pray to the Lord Satan, and lo and behold, what happens? I start to win.
Here's Satan! Make me win at Ligretto.
Yeah, I know, because that's an important part of my life. That is to beat my wife at Ligretto.
I was also quickly going to mention about those, like, the people who've turned it down and been cursed. They're also, to be fair, not really the people that we want to give any of the script to.
Well, the thing is, they're producing horror movies, so you would think that they'd want the best horror movie they can get their hands on, but they're cursing themselves also. And now they're just my enemy, and I will smite them. Tell me who to smite, and they shall be smoten.
Smitten? Yeah. Did you say your thought?
No.
No.
I don't even know if I have one anymore.
It's about smiting.
Yeah.
How would you smite someone?
The best way to smite someone is just with... What's it like Frasier said? The best revenge is living well. Although I'm pretty sure Frasier was quoting from someone else. But still, I got it from Frasier. Yeah, living well and just destroying everyone. That was what my thought was. See, look, you have my memory going around. I was thinking, I feel like I'm the only person
Who wants to destroy people?
who actually... No, that's not true. I feel like I'm the only person who actually cares about the state of horror or actually feels like it's in dire straits. I also feel like modern day audiences, who I put myself under, you under, most of them, 90% of them, aren't actual horror fans, because when they say, I love horror, oh, what do you like then? Oh, I love Happy Death Day to You. I love Smile 2. I love Talk to the Hand, or whatever it's called. What was that one called again?
Talk to Me.
Talk to Me. I always call it Talk to the Hand. Yeah, any movie by those two dweebs that did Scream 5 and 6 and Devil's Due.
Anything by Neil LaBute.
Anything produced by Netflix, any horror movie produced by Amazon. It's just what is going on. People back in the day used to get movies like The Thing and The Fly and Hellraiser and original Scream and just countless others. And now it's what we get now is barely horror. I don't see actual horror out there. It just doesn't exist in my, like, Barbarian. If people like rave about that movie, I'm like, what are you talking about? I just don't get it. I completely do not get it. People had it way better than us, than what we're getting now. It stinks. And I'm just wondering, like, even my friends, people who I grew up with, and we all like the same movies, I hit a line in the sand where I was like, everything sucks now, which happened around 2015, and they're still like, oh no, I really like this movie, I really like that movie, oh, it was poor here and there, but what about the cinematography? I was like, I don't give a shit about the cinematography, because what I mean is I do care about cinematography, but
that doesn't make up for the rest.
That should be just something that you even barely have to notice, because the story is so good, the acting is so good, everything is so compelling, that the cinematography is almost an afterthought in your review of the film. Not just oh, everything was absolutely terrible, but at least it had this. There are so many excuses being made for just film in general anyway, but I don't really care about horror, so it's happening there as well. And we're living in a time where horror has been praised more than it's ever been. When I was growing up, horror wasn't praised. Right now, it's just praised all the time, because it's in a weird way. It's managed to get into the mainstream through a bunch of lame bodies, people who are enjoying Happy Death Day to You and crud like that. I would destroy. I would put out Jordan Peele. Any of the guys that wrote The New Exorcist, the latest Halloween movies, the Barbarian guy who's just done Weapons, any of them, they could pick any horror subgenre they want. I'll go head to head with them. I don't think they'd have the balls.
A write-off.
Yeah, and I would just destroy all of them. The evidence is there. The evidence is in there. Just because no one has seen it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I would, and that's my whole point about destroying people. These people are my enemies. I'm not. They're always like, oh, you shouldn't speak badly of other filmmakers or whatever like this, because we're all a community. No, we're not a community. No, in a sense we are, but I want to be a community with these kinds of people, not the crud that you're putting out there and just giving horror an absolutely terrible
So how are you supposed to
name.
get better if there's no competition? If everything's great, then there's no need to improve.
There is no competition out there, because the guy that's made those 3 terrible Halloween movies was then just given an Exorcist movie to make, and he completely failed miserably at that as well, because I don't know why they're not going with other people. But it doesn't matter who they bring in, whoever they're bringing in from out of nowhere, all have the same kind of ideals as the people who are already there. They're all just towing a line and not really giving them monkeys. Take also, what's his name? Ari Aster, the Hereditary Midsummer guy. So Midsummer, right? As soon as he started doing one horror movie, he was like, I want out of horror now. And he's made 2 movies which have completely bombed and look absolutely terrible, by the way. They look even worse than Midsummer. Right? This guy clearly doesn't care about horror because he wanted to get out of it as soon as he could. So how has he even been given the chance in the first place? I was no fan of Hereditary either. It's not a modern day Exorcist. It's not even close to being as effective or scary as The Exorcist. You know, Hereditary. Give me a break. Everyone points to that as an example of great modern horror. Total crap.
I barely remember it, to be honest.
Exactly. But there you go. There's nothing iconic about it. There's nothing memorable about it. It's not affecting.
I've been trying to say since you brought up the, what about the cinematography thing? And I was like, again, most people, generalising here, most people don't ever really notice cinematography. Unless
they don't even know what it is.
You've got a personal interest in it, you're not going to notice it. So again, that is specifically because certain reviewers and, people out there were saying, oh, the cinematography, and everyone just picks up on it. Mm. Oh, yeah, the cinematography, that was great.
I don't need to see it either, but 28 years later... just everything that I've read about it is just gonna be a load of bollocks. That's why I don't waste my time anymore by searching out. If it comes on streaming and I have absolutely nothing else to do, or I feel like torturing myself, I might pop one on. But it's not even just horror. Anything that's supposed to have a kind of a dark edge to it. Batman. You always used to have interesting actors. Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson, Val Kilmer, even Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. Obviously those films are kind of laughable in a sense, but at least they're interesting actors. I've got no desire to see Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson, Mr. Twilight, as Batman, because there isn't even the ilk of actor anymore. Where are the Christopher Walkens, the Michael Keatons, Peter Wellers, people like this?
Would you rather see her with her new boyfriend in the lead role, Harry Styles?
Zoe Kravitz and One Direction boy are going out together.
How bizarre is that?
It's not bizarre to me. They're just a couple of non-entities. Of course they're going to be attractive to each other. I've got no interest in any of the... In fact, that came onto streaming and I had it on the watch list for about 6 months. And the rights to it expired. I didn't watch it. I couldn't bring myself to watch Twilight Boy and Nepo Baby Girl ruin, a legendary figure like Batman. And it's not like I haven't seen him in other movies. I've seen him in that Cronenberg movie. He cannot act. He can't act. That's why he's in Twilight. So yeah, I just lament the state of everything. And it's all bled over into horror. And, critics aren't worth... what they write isn't worth the paper that they write it on. They're all just paid off or buddy, something like that, or just don't know anything. Because there are so many movies from back... Yeah, I'm trying to think of what it... Oh yeah, so take for instance Final Destination, the original Final Destination. When that came out, that has got an abysmal score with critics to the point where people were giving it zeros, left, right and centre. No modern day horror gets a 0, and it's all 0. How is Final Destination a 0 out of 100 movie? Not even close. It's an original idea, for one thing. It's a top film. Now it's almost like you're not allowed to criticise anything anyway. So no one's going to get the 0 unless you're doing something so outside the box. I know that when Heathen comes out, people are going to find my personality abrasive, for one thing. So I'm going to be, kind of written against anyway. So that's why critics doesn't matter to me, because I'm actually going to make something, a real horror movie, basically. Look, can you believe it? A real horror movie. Not just all this stuff which is ironic. Get something at face value. right? And this is a hangover from Scream still, right? But Scream did irony to perfection. No one else can do it, so stop doing it for every single horror movie. Every single horror movie is ironic now, or meta. It's so lame. Just stop. Just stop. And let's get something at face value. I'll just stop now because it's gone on forever.